Banan. Oh, what's up, demons and demonettes? Tis I, Atraxia Demon Queen. And today we're gonna cover everything of 1.4.2. That is a Phase 2. But before we get into it, as always, toss a like and subscribe down below. Now, it is worth mentioning that we are on the Pioneer server, and we will encounter some bugs. That's not an if, it's a we. I mean, we've already got one bug over here, right down here. That's a bug. I reported that. Hopefully that gets fixed. We have some translation issues here. Alright, so on the Pioneer server, same thing as a VM server, we got Phase 2. So what does that entail? Right, so Phase 2, now our residence level cap goes up to 900. We get the faction progress, our stages go up to 1800. New primal lords coming. We already have, I think, Titan Reaver. I don't know what this means. More Titan Reaver. That's what that means. This means we, again, a translation bug, but we can go up to 2, so we get the double talent tiles. Artifact levels now go to 25. Duras goes to 40, and the legend trial goes to 140. Alright, so yeah, what does that mean? Alright, so let's go ahead. We're going to take a look at the leveling, because that is going to change. And one of the things here, and I think caused some confusion, as the need for essence. So previously, in previous seasons, you would need essence every 10 levels, and now you need it as an additional resource to level up even 1 level. Now the number of essence that we get has significantly increased, right? So we get much more essence per day than we used to, right? This is, I think, served to drive down the leveling. And as you can see, we still get a significant amount of XP per hour. So I think the other thing too is to prevent people who banked a ton of XP from like jumping super far ahead. So at this time, you probably shouldn't be using your diamond refreshes at all. Yeah, because you're not gonna need the XP. Like, I have a ton of hourglasses saved up on my main account. They're probably going to be worthless. Yeah, so that's kind of what to expect there from the leveling standpoint. It means equipment levels are going to level up. You are going to need your new artifact stuff, whatever. It's the red stuff. You get this out of the towers like normal. It's just once you get to eating, so you can see, and then there's the various breaks. So the next point is at 650. And then probably the other one after that's like 700 or something, and then it just kind of like caps out at 25. So not too much there. If we go into legend trials, right? Now one thing to note, in that you may want to be aware for and out on the lookout for, is that when they deployed patch 1.4.2, it was 2 days like prior to when Phase 2 started. And at least on the Pioneer side, we were able to get into this early. So just keep an eye on that. That's just something to be aware of, is that you may want to check towers to see if you can progress them if they don't fix the bug, because then that way you can get maybe like an extra level, or yeah, I think it's like 1 extra level I managed to get. You get capped out pretty high, just because the difficulty ramps up, and you're not going to have the levels to support you. So you're probably going to get capped out at like 86 at max, at 600, right? So you're not going to be able to get like too far into here. So you're probably only going to be able to upgrade 1 artifact or 1 level. So you're going to want to keep an eye on that for your Dream Realm, just so you don't drop off in case someone in your district does do that. So that's something to keep an eye on. We were able to craft orange charms early as well, because Dura's unlocked early for us. Now the timing in live has it being like 4 days after Phase 2 starts, so maybe that won't be an issue, but you're definitely going to want to start banking your yellow essence to craft those orange charms once we're able to, because they are very good and they're going to give a nice boost to your roster. So that's something else to be on the lookout for. You just need to push to 21 here to be able to craft them, and you need this red dust. So if we go into our character screen here and we go to charms, we can see a charm merchant. You can exchange it. It's 500 to 50, and then to say a craft the charm will just go to somebody else who doesn't have it. Right. So it cost 300, right? So yeah, it's gonna be a bit pricey, I think, to build them. You may be able to build like one hero outright day one. You're probably going to want to build your boss killer for Dream Realm, like a Chimera. Chimera is good. Chimera is going to be big in stages. So let's go in and we're going to talk about stages, because there's some changes going on here, right? Not the changes you think, the changes to the push comp, right? So this has become a very popular push comp, with Chimera leading the way and with Valara. Now it's worth noting that Valara does make the Wilder talent tile viable for stage pushing. She's very, very good for stage pushing. However, you can get by without her. There's also Balaran's been used a lot in stage pushing, but again, you can still get by without her. You could just run the old tried and true. So if you don't have a Lucy and you can't build a Lucy and you're struggling with this Faramore team that's become pretty popular in Infinite Stages, which is very viable here, you can run the Valara comp. I think it's kind of a side grade / upgrade. It's a little weird. In some cases, this comp is going to be better, or this comp is going to be better, depending on what type of map it is and what mobs you're going to be facing. This is just one formation. You can also run Nero in a place of Damien on some of these stages. And we're going to talk about that. Nero got a huge boost to his S++. That makes him very desirable. So this is one of those changes that were coming, so we're covering it. And you're definitely going to want to build this, right? Alright, so we're going to look at his S++ ability. Alright, so level 2 replaces normal attacks with Spirit Devour. That's this guy here. So Nero drains the life force of all enemies, dealing 150 plus skill damage to each enemy, plus 3% of target's max HP, up to 70%. Then he restores an equal amount of HP to the weakest ally. Right now it's at a reduced effect, sure. And then when Spirit Devourer heals Chimera or Demon, so that's why you're going to want to use them with Demon, it also increases their Fizz magical defense by 60%. So it gives them a huge boost to their physical damage. So if you need a little bit more defensives on your Chimera, this is definitely the route to go. Right, so he works really well with Chimera. Chimera's a great hero anyway. She's seeing a lot more use in stages now. So yeah, if you don't, like I said, if you don't have Lucy built, you don't have the Twins boot, you're definitely gonna want to go the Chimera route. It's a little S tier heavy, I would say, right? Because you're running Aaron, Damon, Valara, and Chimera. Yeah, so you got 4 S tiers, and then the only A tier is Almost, but then there's no Celestial Hypos. So it devalues the Twins a little bit, at least on the talent side of things. You can run it on this side as well. And you're gonna see, like, here we run it, and it's good against guys like Almost. Chimera typically tends to shred Almost and other types of heroes like that. So yeah, that's really, really good. So you're gonna see this comp a lot. So it's a comp you may want to build towards. I know I'm not the biggest Valara fan, and I'm really not looking to open the wallet, but I'm really debating on it for Valara just because of the stage potential. And then if she has any potential beyond that, you know, I haven't really tested her too much in Dream Realm, but we'll do a Valara video at some point here in the near future. So that's what to expect in stages. As for content, it's the same cycle right now. There's nothing really new. As of yet, on the Pioneer, we do have the new event, Melon Melody. It's pretty basic. I mean, you're basically gonna go, you've got these 4 guys here. You know, don't make eye contact. No, you can make eye contact. I was gonna say, like, don't make eye contact, right? Let's Pokemon, and they're gonna challenge you. So you're gonna get some ice cream things here. Again, a lot of translucent bugs. There's different difficulties that give different rewards. So you could just go straight for the highest one. Apparently there's gonna be some kind of like hero rotation or something. I don't know. I just run Nero, Shamira, and Friend. If it's a heavy fizz team, you could go with like a Hodgkin. If you don't have Hodgkin, you could go with like Italian, or Thorin, or Vala. I like using Lenya because she was very, very good in these types of situations with smaller amounts of enemies. So you could see if this is going, oh yeah, practice, but practice, we don't talk about no practice here. Practice, who's talking about practice? Anyway, yeah, you can see it's not a very difficult event. I didn't really boost my heroes up to my account's level here. I was just kind of going for like lower value, just to kind of like test out how like lesser value works in some things and certain areas. You know, prior to Phase 2, we did have the War Chief's Blessing that we do have on stages. If you're not familiar with the War Chief's Blessing, it's from Ice Crown Citadel in World of Warcraft. And basically, every once in a while, we would get a buff to our heroes that were participating in the raid, right? So in stages, we get a buff to our heroes that were using similar to the War Chief's Blessing. So we used that there. We were at 16, so pushing infinite stages was very, very easy. So it was hard to kind of like judge, I think, Valara there. The Valara comp was shredding the infinite stages. A lot of the problematic stages, like Infinite Stage 404, Infinite Stage 591, Normal Stage 291, blew past all of these stages with little to no issue between the Blessing, the Orange Charms, and the Nero upgrade, right? Because I used the upgraded Nero on 291 Normal Stage, and it was easy. So Nero is definitely going to be your hero that you're gonna go for the S++ on. Nars is supposed to be pretty decent, but Nars is pretty niche anyway. So I would build Nero first, and then if you have leftover resources, you can build your Nara. Alright, so the only other really thing that we have as of now is we have the rep bonus. Nobody's completed the story up, I think, thus far. At least that's posting to get to it. It's gonna probably be, I expect it to be your typical rep stuff. Chase the lizard, follow the lizard, go kill some mobs, go get this item, go talk to this person, that type of stuff. I don't think they're gonna do anything groundbreaking here. Maybe like, oh, I forgot, sort the backpack, play the card game. Like, the other 2 things that we could do. Alright, so that's that. We will have Clash Fronts coming up. I'm not looking forward to this, but that's just because my guild's kind of like dropping off as of lately. So if you're on a dying server, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, I think, to compete in your district, and would really love those server transfers sometime soon to help out with that issue, to at least try to allow us either A, to recruit, or B, to move to a more competitive or more populated server cluster, right? So there's that as well. So we have Clash Fronts coming up. That's usually pretty intense and time consuming for guild leadership, I would say, more so than the players. I don't know if we're gonna get any improved tools. We'll wait a day. We'll get it at reset. We'll take a look at Clash Fronts later, and we'll do a separate updated Clash Fronts guide once we look at it. Heroic Gauntlet's coming back. I mean, okay, it's the rats. Or it's gonna be one giant rat. We're gonna be in a basement killing rats. Okay, so it's a D&D adventure here. We're going on Heroic Gauntlet. Nothing too crazy there. There's nothing really new. I thought the Melon Melody event is kind of, or Melon Melee event it's kind of lackluster. I thought it was Melody. I wasn't even paying attention. I was just like, okay, I go in, I beat the things, I get the rewards. There's not all that great rewards. I don't even know if I'll do a guide covering it. You can go in here, you can see the rewards. I mean, this is not, I don't know if there's enough meat on the bones here to last the time that it's up for. I think this is another case of them putting an event out there, making it extremely long because they don't have any other content on the back burner, or because they haven't tweaked or fixed other events, or they just don't want to come up with a cycle of events type deal. I mean, the rewards aren't all that great here. We're only getting 5 stellars. Typically, we get a lot more in these types of events. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 40 yellows. Oh, they upped it. And then we're getting like 40 reds. I mean, the yellows aren't bad. That's always good. We can always use those. I think every player wants yellows in these events, and the stellar crystals. They're just nice to get because if you're spending, you know, hey, it reduces how much you're gonna have to spend, because this is probably the 2 biggest areas that you're spending on is yellow and stellars. And maybe some people are spending on red still. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just not overly impressed. We're getting the new Primal Lord. He doesn't open up for a while yet. So I mean, we haven't even started getting the stuff. I don't even know if it shows on here. I mean, we could just go into like live or whatever and just check the timing. But we do get the new Primal Lord, so at least it'll be something to do. An extra daily event to do when that comes out, and an extra headache to worry about when managing your charms in phase 2. And yep, that's gonna be it for this one. Just wanted to go over all the stuff that you can expect to see in phase 2, and yeah, at least we're now back to pushing normal stages. We got another 900 to go through before we get back to those awful infinite stages, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.